Doing UFC 159 here at SBRForum Videos, and I am joined, as always, sitting next to me by Nick Kalikas, professional MMA oddsmaker and consultant for numerous sports books on MMA odds making. And over the phone, we are also joined today by Brad Taschuk, who is an MMA writer for MMAoddsbreaker.com and also a contributor for Sportsnet.ca. All right, we just got finished discussing Sonnen and Jones. Now let's talk about Belcher and Bisping. Now this one, Bisping's only minus 165, and Belcher plus 145 on the other side. These are lines at 5 dimes that I'm seeing right now. I'm thinking maybe Belcher's not quite ready for prime time like this, and maybe Bisping at minus 165 has some value. You agree with me, Brad Taschuk?
I actually do in this one. I just think that Bisping's the slightly more well-rounded fighter, and more than that, he's the smarter fighter.
Right.
You look at Belcher's last fight, he actually did, everyone talks about, how his takedown defense is his liability. He actually did pretty well defending Yushin Okami's takedowns. It was the fact that he kept jumping for guillotines and doing stupid things that put him out of position that really lost him that decision. So he's done better at keeping himself off his back, but it's that he puts himself onto his back on purpose, looking for things that are really low percentage moves. And I think that Bisping is going to take advantage of that. He's going to get some top position, and he's going to work for a decision, a lot like the Brian Stan fight. There's still danger there because Belcher does have the power, but I think Bisping's going to come home with a decision here.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, Nick Kalikas, what do you make of these odds? Because this looks like this matchup, it's Bisping. People talk about him and Anderson Silva. Then he lost the fight. Then there was the performance-enhancing drugs issue. This looks like a fight to me that I was expecting to be maybe like minus 200, minus 240, something like that, right? Or no?
Well, the public hype, and they dropped it. I opened around 180, 170, 180 when it first hit the books, and I wasn't surprised. That's why I kind of opened it a little bit lower. I agree with Brad, and I agree with you as well. I think that Bisping's just right now at this stage the better overall fighter. He can mix things up a lot more. He's a smarter fighter. The power, I guess, on the feet from Belcher is what people were impressed by. I mean, he does have a tremendous knockout power. He's a good striker.
Sure.
One of the better strikers, actually, in the weight class. And his overall game is improving all the time, too. Now, if any weakness, as Brad pointed out, too, is probably his wrestling game. He likes to get placed on his back, or like he says, he makes a few mistakes and gets put there, whether he's going for technique or not. So I think that part of his game has to improve as far as fight IQ. His cardio sometimes tends to be lacking as well, and I think Bisping's just better in every area, basically, of this fight. But the knockout power, you definitely got to give an advantage to Belcher. And Bisping has been knocked out. I mean, he's coming off a knockout loss. And I guess not really a shocker there because Belfort has so much power. But, he has been knocked out in the past before with that Henderson knockout. It was brutal. And Belcher definitely has enough power to catch that chin and knock him out. So that's where there's a little danger. You can't go crazy betting this fight because if Bisping gets put to sleep, I understand. But if he doesn't, he's going to win this fight. Right. So more times than not, I agree with you. As the line keeps dropping, I think there's going to be worth the play. A small play at least on Bisping because I think that he is the overall better fighter. And you're basically talking about, he's got the shot maybe of a puncher's chance, if that's what you want to say, or a submission chance. But I think Bisping's submission defense is good enough to avoid that.
I mean, we talk about a puncher's chance. That's when I start looking at it when it's like plus 250 or something like that. You know what I mean? But at these lines, why is the line dropping? Why has it been dropping?
Because the public loves Alan Belcher. And I mean, Bisping always gets respect, definitely. But from the betting public, it just seems like they're always favoring Belcher. In fact, I got a great price on Okami against him. I mean, Okami dropped all the way. Again, that was a concern in that fight too, Okami's chin. But I knew pretty much what he was going to try to do. He was going to try to get the takedowns and kind of grind him out. And it worked. And Belcher basically had a puncher's chance in that fight.
Right.
The betting public dropped it all the way to a pick'em. So that's ridiculous. I mean, so no big shocker at all. I mean, they love Belcher. I think after this fight, if Belcher does not win this fight, you're going to see respect getting lost, I think, from the overall public.
So do you expect to maybe get some sharp action on Bisping closer to fight time, maybe? With that?
I think so. Or it's one of these situations that you pass, you know what I mean? Or like I said, if the line drops a little bit more, I think we will. It'd be tempting because he's the better fighters. Now, again, overall, I mean, I'm surprised that all three of us agree because the majority of the public out there, like I said, betting Belcher a little bit more at this point. So I thought at least one of us would split, but we're all on the same page. That might be good, might be bad.
Do you think maybe it's because Belcher's trying to become a loudmouth now for this fight and that's attracting public attention?
Possibly. I mean, he's always had something about him that is intriguing. He is trying to, though. You're right. He's trying to put himself out there a little bit more. He's very popular on the forums. I mean, he posts a share dogs on various forums, too. So he gets the public support that way.
All right. Okay, well, it's going to be a great fight. Thanks, guys. Great preview.
Thank you.